Hey guys, good morning, Team Fit and Focused. Let's see, I'm on my phone and I don't know how to look and see the comments, but it's in video. Oh, swipe left to reveal. Okay, so all right, well, we'll just go with it. So I am so excited to be able to share with you guys today, and Michelle had invited me to be a guest on this really cool group that you guys have been doing these past few weeks, and I think that I absolutely love the concept behind it with thinking about the business as a mindset shift in all the different areas that put together this business. And so she said that this week you guys are focusing on inviting, and I have been a coach now for 6 years, or actually over 6 years, and I would say that inviting is probably the number, or definitely one of the top rated things that people just have a hard time with. And I know for me, like in my experience, I have done like a self-reflection on my own business before and kind of wondered why like why do I not have as many people in my pipeline, or why am I just not filling my challenge groups or getting people into my coach sneak peeks and things like that. And if when you give yourself like a real honest reflection, sometimes you're like, you know what, if I'm being honest with myself, I haven't been inviting. It's easy to kind of think that you have been inviting simply because you've been messaging. And I think that we can kind of allow ourselves to think, oh, I've put all this time into my business this week and I've spent all this time doing it and blah, blah, blah. But like the real truth is, did you actually get to the nitty gritty bottom line invitation of, hey, I have such and such group going on. I know you said that you want to lose weight. Do you think that this group would be a good fit for you? Did you actually get to the bottom line and invite them to go somewhere with you? So I think that, especially in the areas of inviting, that having that mindset shift of how you think about it and how you approach it is very, very key. So the first thing I want to bring up with the mindset shift is getting rid of the feeling that you're doing something icky. I think that people, or sometimes we kind of get ourselves into this place where we psych ourselves up to think that we're doing something that we don't want to do. For the most part, all of us are pretty willing to do our workout, and we're very willing to drink our shake, and we're willing to do those two things and share about them. I would say 50% of coaches are very willing to do their personal development. And then if you are in fact doing your personal development, you're also usually very willing to share about that too. So those things are easy to do. Recognition, I would say that the culture in Team Fit and Focused is definitely very into recognition. I just did a quick scroll through this group and I saw there's a coach of the week and things like that. So obviously recognition, you guys have that part. So those 3 vital behaviors out of the 4, I think are pretty natural to do, especially if you are on a fitness journey, you're committed and all those things. So then inviting, that one takes intention. That one takes saying, this is a part of my job. And so sometimes, I guess it kind of comes down to how committed you are to the business and if you want to look at this as a job. I know for me, I have been a full-time coach now for 4 years. So while this is something that I love and I'm passionate about and really fuels my fire for wanting to help people, it is a job to me. So just like when I worked as a paralegal, I had duties that I was responsible for. I had requirements that my employers said, all right, Jen, we will hire you. We will pay you this much money based on, you doing these job tasks. So I didn't necessarily like filing, but that was part of my duties, so I did it. You know, like if I wanted to meet the expectations of my employer and fill that contract of this is what I will do, you will pay me this, okay, I did my job, now pay me, you know, like it was just an expectation. And most people that I know of that work in the corporate world or a regular 9 to 5 or any kind of like actual job, there's very specific job duties and requirements, and I really don't ever hear of somebody that was like, oh, you know, that particular thing makes me feel icky. Like, what about somebody that works in a fast food restaurant and has to like mop the bathrooms? Is that icky? I bet it probably is. I used to work at Burger King. Nobody liked cleaning the bathrooms, but it was your job. That's what you have to do. So there's no talking yourself out of it. There is no option of saying, I'm not going to do it today, I'll do it tomorrow. Or I'm not going to do it today, I'll double up tomorrow. You know, like maybe you can get away with it here and there, but I would say that if you are consistently not doing those tasks that your employer is asking of you, then you're going to get fired. Or maybe if you don't get fired, you're not going to get promoted. So I believe that inviting kind of comes down to that same exact principle. If you're not doing it, it's 25% of our vital behaviors. So that's a C. And in some colleges, that's not even an acceptable, I think like once you get to a master's level, they change the whole scale around, which really throws your mind off. But it's like, I think maybe a 75% is even considered a D. And you guys are not C and D students. So, you know, you have to be hitting that one. So for me, the very first and most important mindset shift that you need to do with inviting is knowing that it is mandatory if you want to have a successful business. The next thing is remember how you were invited. Sometimes when you start, you know, trying to like set aside the inviting aspect of the business, like just remember that you were invited in some form or fashion. You know, we all have different journeys of how we found Beachbody and found a challenge group or a coaching opportunity or whatever. But like I think back to when my coach, who my upline is Scotty Hobbs, and you know, what if he had not invited me? And I never felt that Scotty was icky. I definitely did have like a moment of like, well, if you know my backstory, you know that me and Scotty started off knowing each other from being in a anti-Beachbody coach group. Like we started our own fitness and support group because we didn't want Beachbody coaches bothering us. So it was a little, like I never thought he was icky, but it was just like when he signed up to be a coach, it was just like hey, wait a minute, I thought we were on the anti-Beachbody coach train together. But then it was very quick that I realized he was still being the same sincere, genuine, authentic person. He was just actually creating a business out of the same things that we were doing for free. So I'm very glad that he continued to invite me to be a part of his team and to be a part of this awesome culture. So remember how you were invited, and remember that like attracts like. So most likely how you came into this business or how you were invited is probably going to be a very natural thing, or give you the most ability of feeling natural to invite other people in that same way. So you got here somehow, some way. And that's actually a great post to even make on your regular Facebook, to just kind of reflect on that, to reflect on how you were invited originally and how you found Beachbody. But either way, just remember that you were invited. So you have to give that same gift to other people. That's our whole vision of paying it forward, and knowing that there's other people that were in that, you know, maybe desperate place that you were once in, or just feeling like you needed, like you've tried every other fitness thing and nothing is working, you've tried this diet and nothing is working, and it was because of that invitation that you finally found the support that you needed to get your goals. Okay, so number one was remembering that inviting is 25% of the equation. You got to do it. It's part of your job. Number two, remember how you were invited. And number three, I want you guys to realize that what you're inviting to is so much more than selling somebody a challenge pack or a product. What you are inviting people to, and this is a huge mindset thing that helps me so much. What you are inviting them to is even more than a challenge group or the opportunity to lose the weight they've been wanting to lose or whatever. You are giving them a ticket into a group, a family that they could have a void from. I would say that like a lot of the coaches that I know that have really become successful in the business and have had really great results both in the fitness side of Beachbody and the business side is because they finally had a family where they belonged. And it's a crazy world out there, as you guys know. And I have met and talked with so many people where what they're really wanting, like the bottom line of what the human need is, or like the human soul is desiring, is connection and feeling like they have a place where they belong. There are tons and hundreds of millions or whatever of people out there that don't feel like they matter. And this may be a little extreme, but if you guys have seen the movie What Women Want with what's his name? I forget his name. I'll have to type it in afterwards, but What Women Want. And there is this one scene where this girl works in the office and she is basically like, she seems like a secretary, just kind of, you know, the person that goes and gets the coffee and sets up the meeting room with the files, and like she feels like nobody cares. Like, you know, there's actually a scene where she doesn't show up for work that day and she's like, you know, no one's even gonna notice or care if I'm there or not, and like she's suicidal or whatever. But then the guy, the main character guy in What Women Want, he notices, and he's like, he knew there's something wrong, she's not here, and like he goes to her house and Mel Gibson, yeah. So you guys know what movie I'm talking about. Good. But I believe that there are so many people that feel that way. Like, they feel that way in their job, they feel that way like in their circle of friends that they maybe have in their community, they feel that way sometimes even like in your own family. You can just kind of feel like, I don't belong, you know, I'm here, but do they care if I'm here? But what you are inviting people to is an invitation to have them become a part of your family. You are each the CEO of your own businesses. You know, you may be a part of a larger family with Fit and Focused or any of the other teams, and then Fit Family and Team Dynasty. But the bottom line is that you are the CEO of your own business, and you are inviting people to become part of your tribe. You are giving them the opportunity to belong to something, to be a part of something that they can connect with, and that they can be like a valuable contributing member of something where they matter. And I think that that is the true heart and soul of Beachbody, and why it's different than anything else, and why it works when there's so many other fitness solutions out there that could work but don't. So I want you to really consider that when you are inviting, and just know that you are giving them something that is so valuable and so priceless that, you know, a challenge pack, $160, all access, Shakeology, that's great, that's fine, that's awesome that you're giving them the tools that are going to help them. But the real value is that you are giving them an invitation into your tribe, into that opportunity to lock arms with you and to just have that new sister or that new bestie or whatever that's just going to really be there for them. Okay, so the last thing that I want to bring up is having a groove in your inviting. So I know, or I am assuming that you guys feel the same way and it's not your favorite thing to do. So when I'm like doing my power hour or I'm sitting down to, get some work in, I will post the link here in the comments, but there is a YouTube playlist. I want to say that on YouTube, the person's name is Evan Carmichael, and he has a productivity playlist, and he makes a new one each month. And it has no words in the songs, but they're like songs that you know the tune of, and they're usually about an hour to an hour and a half. So what I usually do is when I'm sitting down to have my focused time where I'm going to be inviting and doing follow-ups and working on my Team Z basically, I will turn that playlist on, because then I know that that 1 hour or 90 minutes, whatever it is, like I will not be distracted while that playlist is playing. And it kind of like, because it's upbeat, good music, like you get into a really good flow and you're just like, okay, I'm inviting this person and I'm writing, I'm updating here on my Team Z, and this person is finishing in my free group. I'm going to invite them to my, challenge group for next month and whatever. So that had really, because I get distracted super easy. Like at the moment I see a Facebook ad on the sidebar that has a cute t-shirt that talks about champagne or something, then I'm off. Like my mind has already left the building and I'm now shopping for myself for things that I don't need. So I need tools that keep me focused and on task, and using that playlist has really helped. And somebody like me that likes to have variety and stuff, the fact that he always adds a new one each month really gives you some different things to listen to. So that's really helped me with my inviting when I'm sitting down to use that as distraction-free work time. So, all right, guys, that is everything I wanted to share with you. So just to review, the first thing was knowing you got to do it, part of your job. Second thing was, I had to go back and think. The second thing, what was it? This is a quiz. What was the second thing I said? The third thing was knowing what you're inviting to, like knowing that you're giving them the opportunity to join your tribe. And then the fourth thing was the playlist. And the second thing will come to me. But anyways, guys, thanks for hopping on this morning and spending a little time on your Friday. I will make sure to come back and post that YouTube link so you guys can check that out and see how it works for you. And other than that, have an awesome day, a great weekend, and I will hopefully be seeing you guys at Summit. All right, bye.